hopefully this doesn't become such an uncommon thing. My goodness, that water dumping. I told them if they ever do that again, I'm gonna stop the freaking run them right there. Unless we win a championship, that better never happen again. But they were excited, and they were. I'm proud of them. They kept fighting, and we made enough plays. I mean, it's the stuff we've been preaching because I really respect Coach Bowl and Wyoming football program, and I think they play football the right way. And I mean, I told our kids it was going to be a good old-fashioned fight, and whoever kept getting up the most going to have the best chance to win. And I thought we matched their physicality. I mean, I don't want to say we out-physicaled them because both teams were. I mean, there were some good licks out there, and we just made one more play there at the end, and we caused that fumble to keep them out of the end zone. And then Brandon Shook did a nice job on the fourth down intercepting the ball, but we were getting pressure with a four-man rush, which we hadn't been doing. Still bothers me that we gave up the 70-yard touchdown run in the double post to a nub side formation. That ball should be intercepted by the safety. That drives me crazy. We give up a 3rd and 21 in cover 2. That should be impossible. I mean, we sure do make it hard on ourselves, I'll tell you that. Go ahead.
Coach, could you talk about that when they were down there late, that fourth quarter fumble, Brandon's play, just talk about what was going through your head when that happened, because it looked like, oh no, like you're going to score.
Well, I mean, our motto is one more play to keep them out of the end zone, and they kept fighting. I mean, that's a big time play by Brandon Shook, both of them there at the end. Brandon Shook's been our most reliable guy on defense this year, and he stepped up again. I mean, that's a big time play, and before Bobby Cole scored that touchdown that Isaiah threw to him, I told the offensive line and Bobby, y'all screwed me now by not getting that 4th and 1 when we could have tied it, and we weren't playing for the tie. Now, with Isaiah in there, and this is nothing against Isaiah, I'm really proud of him. He did a heck of a job. I wasn't sure how many times we were going to get back down there or have an opportunity to score, so I wanted to put it in for a touchdown. And the 5-0 lineman and Bobby said they got me. And so when Bobby scored, I said, hey, we're even. So let's keep you in the plus thing so I don't have to threaten you anymore. So, I was proud of him, and they did a nice job. I was proud of Connor. Connor did a nice job early on. He fell and he broke his wrist on a screenplay. He just kind of fell awkwardly on it. I mean, you can't be as unlucky as we've been in some of those. I mean, the other two are pretty, the way we were playing, but Connor's was just unlucky, and I felt bad for him because heck of an opportunity, and then you break your wrist. But I don't know if anybody noticed. Nobody had to go get him.
How does that first win feel, Coach?
I'm relieved because Akron won today, so we own the longest losing streak in the nation for a few hours. And I told our football team that after the pregame meal. I said, we're the losingest team in the country, so you can either do something about it or we've kind of embraced it, which is embarrassing. Well, we'll never have that streak again. And we can find a way to get 2 next week, then, that'd be a heck of a deal. I mean, I'm proud of them because they kept fighting, and they never give in. So, it's kind of a relief to get that one out of the way, and now we can just go play football and go out and win. It's no big deal.
Danny, how'd it feel for you? Those guys grabbed you, make sure you got your shower, your water shower. Obviously, it was a big deal for those players to make sure that they celebrated your first win. How's it feel for you to get that first win?
I'm happy for them because they've been so beaten up over the last 3 years, and the way this season has been, being all conference games and just I'm happy for them so that they can stop feeling bad for me. This whole feeling sorry for people is just it's not my way, and so we can get over that. And I don't have to listen to people say, we're proud of you, you're competitive now. We actually won a football game. We did what we set out to do. And so, we've got something to try and start building on. That we were 18-point underdogs coming into this, and nobody thought we were going to win other than the 70 guys that traveled to the game and the coaching staff. And I honestly, 0-5 or not, I thought we had an opportunity to win every single game, and as the game played along, we have. We obviously we shoot ourselves in the foot, and we did a couple times. We turned the ball over way too many times, but we made enough plays to keep them out of the end zone on defense that we made up for it. And then the offense got some big plays. They ran the ball pretty good, and we made enough plays to win the game.
Talk about the composure. He's your fifth string quarter. I know you said fourth, but I mean,
really with Brant, I haven't considered Brant because Brant got hurt. But yeah, he's our fifth string quarterback.
The composure of your fifth string quarterback.
No, I have to give
make plays.
Unbelievable. I have to give Frank a little credit for this because he looked this up. But you know, it's this whole becoming the head coach after Coach Long. Coach Long's first game was against Idaho State. My first game was supposed to be against Idaho State. Well, the last time we started a walk-on quarterback was against Wyoming, and it was Casey Kelly. That was actually before it. That was Justin Millay was before him. It was Casey Kelly, Casey Kelly's now the winningest quarterback in the history of this football program. And they happened to beat his first start. We beat Wyoming 30-29. Well, we started a walk-on quarterback tonight against Wyoming, and we win 17-16. So there's my Idaho State, I guess, and my comparison to Coach Long. That was our start. Isaiah, another walk-on quarterback who, I mean, both those kids are deserving of scholarships. Isaiah, to come in that situation. Now, we had a package for Isaiah. He was going to play 10 to 12 plays. We did some things early. He got, I think, the third play of the game. We put him in. And then after Connor got hurt, now, Isaiah's won a championship in high school, played in the championship game last year. So on a big stage, he's a winner. He's been from a winning program. And so he wasn't phased out there. The speed wasn't too fast. There was a couple. He made a couple of mistakes. I mean, the intentional grounding, if he throws the ball at the tight end's feet. One of the balls he pulled, he should have handed off, and Bobby might score. But that's football, especially when you're a true freshman playing the game for the first time. So, I mean, I'm proud of him because he never panicked. And now, the touchdown he threw to Bobby Cole, I was giving him a hard time on the way up here. I mean, that was one heck of a duck, but it got there. It doesn't matter how they get there, it got there. And, I mean, if he won the football game. He led our team on a drive, and we won the football game. And so, I mean, I'm proud of him. They never doubted it. They never didn't think we were going to win. And I don't think in any of the games, even when we were down last week 34-14, they didn't think didn't have a chance. We just didn't make enough plays in that one, and we did tonight. Go ahead, Brandon. Did you have one, or Steve?
Yeah, Coach, defensively, early on, the 2 turnovers, you guys get a stop and hold to a field goal. All game long, so many key stops. What was clicking for the defense throughout the game?
I think their fight. I mean, they kept fighting it. I mean, the one the reverse after we missed the 4th down. I mean, we missed a tackle. That's a terrible tackle. We should get that down for a 10-yard gain or a 4-yard gain if our linebacker doesn't know where to pursue. And then when we go for the 4th and 1 and they get down there after that drive, we on their 3rd down, we drop an interception. Tavion Combs, our Lobo, drops an interception that's about as easy an interception because Cam gets a nice hit on the quarterback. We run the stunt right, we get pressure, and we drop one that's in his hands. Now, next year or 2 years from now, Tavion Combs is going to make that play 5 or 6 times in the year. And it was a good learning moment. If you watched, obviously, we're trying to learn how to do a lot of this stuff. I mean, the 3rd and 21 that they completed, the play before that, we get a sack. Trying to calm them down to play the 3rd down, I mean, that's obviously they're not used to success, and it was like you thought we won the game. I mean, I was getting more upset about trying to get them to settle down so they could see the situation. So we've got a long way to go there, but the positive is that energy is inside of them. That fight is inside of them. They keep fighting, and that's the start of the process. Now, we still have a long journey ahead of us. We are not a good football team yet, but we do have good fight. And that's the beginning of the opportunity to be successful.
You said a few days ago there was going to be some faces in this game we hadn't seen much or if at all this season. You continue to throw different guys in every single game. You get a result finally that you were looking for. How big was it to get a win when you're continuing to do that, mixing in the lineups, different guys are making different plays? I mean, we had some guys make sacks and big plays today that we hadn't really seen at all this year.
I think part of that's probably a coaching error. We probably needed to play some of these guys sooner. We had an opportunity last week with the long extended week to really evaluate what we were doing, who was in there, how many reps they were in there, and we kind of changed that up a little bit, and some guys that have probably earned some opportunities that they might have earned earlier if we'd have done a better job, got in there and made some plays. Now, with Isaiah today, and we've played 19 true freshmen. That's unheard of. I mean, that's unheard of. And you can consider it a loss for every true freshman that plays. I mean, we don't play 19 games, but we've lost 5, and that amounts to about 19. Felt like it. Obviously, that was the losing streak, so there you go. But it's good for the future of our program. It's obviously not good for now. And we're taking some of those lumps because of it. But they're learning in the fire, and so they'll be better for it quicker. And you'll see it next week too. I mean, Ray Luatele made more plays on special teams. Now, I wish he would have made the dang tackle on that last kickoff return. We almost give it to him, and then the punt, that's my fault. I should have let Tyson. We were worried about them trying to block it. I should have let Tyson try and boom one 90 yards instead of giving it to him in field goal range, but the defense stepped up. So, I mean, players make plays. Players win the ball game. That was not a coaching win. That was players making plays. I say it all the time. Coaches don't win games. Those guys out there did tonight. Go ahead, Sam.
Yeah, Coach, just with Bobby Cole and Nate Jones, I mean, certainly the offensive line in front of them as far as run blocking was solid tonight, but just talk about the difference it makes with the two of them when they're complimenting each other as well as they did tonight.
You know, that they did, but those 5 guys up front did an outstanding job because if they're not blocking them, those guys aren't getting yards. Now, they run hard. Bobby Cole and Nate Jones are both really hard to tackle. They break some tackles. Now, the one, Bobby let him track him down. I mean, I thought he was out the gate for a touchdown, and then they end up catching him. Those guys are pretty dynamic, and we need to get a little bit faster so that we can get those breakaways. And then I told Manny Logan Green on that kickoff return, you let a guy chip your ankle and knock you out of bounds. I mean, get your tail in the weight room, man. What are you doing? That's ridiculous. And he agreed. So we'll fix some of that. But, I mean, right now we're lifting dumbbells and bands because it's where we're at in the hotel. But obviously we need to get a lot stronger as a football team. Those 2 guys are pretty dynamic.
Let's go one more so we can get the players in here because they still have to shower. Go ahead,
Will.
Coach, I'm pretty sure the last thing you wanted to do was come home next week without a win. But you spoke a little bit about what this win can mean for the future of the team. I'm just curious, with such a young group of guys who didn't know how to win, now they've gotten a taste for it. What does this mean for next week and next season moving forward?
It gives you hope. I mean, they figured out. I mean, they believe. Obviously, they believe in what we're doing, and obviously they've got my back. The way they celebrated tonight. I mean, honestly, it's a little embarrassing, but you got to give it to them for all they've been through, for where we're at and what we're doing. It'll give a little bit more incentive to show up Monday. I mean, you keep saying the same things over and over, and if you don't get results sooner or later, you're going to have a few of them doubt what we're talking about. And the mission that we're talking about and the style of football we're talking about now, do I want to win every game 17-16? I don't care. I just want to score one more point. I thought tonight was an exciting football game. Some people might think that's boring, but it was physical. There was a lot of smash mouth. It wasn't very long because both teams ran the ball. But they kept fighting. The team that plays the hardest, the longest is going to have the best chance, and we played harder a little bit longer than they did. And so it'll help. They'll have a little bit more pep in their step. Obviously, I thank God we're in a hotel 13 miles away from the Strip because it won't be hard to keep them in home. I know where they're at. They're not going to be running around the town partying it up like we would if we were back home in normal times. And so nobody will get in trouble. We'll go over there. They'll get a snack and they'll go to bed. And if Uber or Lyft shows up, the hotel calls me so I can go down there and make sure it's not one of our knuckleheads. So we'll have them all there tomorrow and it'll be good. So go ahead, Steve. I know you had one. You hadn't asked one yet. Go ahead, Steve.
Thanks. Was that you on the mic like towards the end of the game on the stadium mic saying, "Let's finish this"?
I don't think so.
Did you hear yourself?
I hope not. If it was, it was somebody close to me. I wasn't. That wasn't my intent. I don't want to be on that. But you have to give credit to. I mean, I say this all the time. We got to give credit to everybody that's involved in our organization, starting from President Stokes. But Eddie Nunez has done an unbelievable job of making this even possible. And when I talk about everybody is doing things completely out of their role and out of their realm, I mean, we've got trainers that are loading the equipment truck. We've got, Ryan Berriman, our business manager, is out there with a camera tonight shooting marketing pictures. I mean, there's no barriers for what anybody's going to do around here. And it's the blue-collar organization that we are. It's who we are. We are New Mexico. That's what we are. We're blue-collar. And so I'm proud of our football team because we kind of showed that with the resiliency and the fight. And I'm proud of the whole entire organization because none of this would have been possible if we didn't have that. And if we didn't have Eddie in our corner, I mean, he's been fighting so many battles to give us this opportunity. And he's doing the same thing for Paul and Mike. And it makes me really proud to be part of something like that. And it'll be a heck of a lot more fun when we win a championship around here. And we're going to. I know a lot of people say, man, this guy talks out of his mouth. We're going to win a championship. It's going to be a lot of fun. And that hopefully will be the next time that we celebrate like we did tonight. But I think winning a football game is really, really hard to do. Even when you're a really good football team, it's really, really hard to do. So it was really awesome to be able to see them celebrate in the locker room like they did because it's been a long time coming. And it's something that we want to get used to.
Congrats.
All right.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Go Lobos.